Hey everyone, welcome back. Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. So we are just 1 week away from the month of July. So we are going to be going over the payment schedule for all Social Security beneficiaries and when you can expect to receive your payment next month. Plus, according to a recent survey, half of Americans over the age of 65 are currently living on an income of $30,000 or less. And we're going to be looking into a story of one woman and her current reality and the reality of what a lot of Americans are currently facing right now and potential solutions to that. But before we go ahead and dive into the main content of today's video, if you wouldn't mind helping me out real quickly by just giving this video a like, that just helps out with the good old YouTube algorithm, and also consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already. Plus, if you would like to receive up to $200 in free stock or $200 in free cash, in a pinned comment below, I will be leaving a link to Robinhood. All you have to do is once you click on that link is just sign up for a free account and then simply link your bank account. You do not even have to make an opening deposit. At that point in time, Robinhood will be sending you one free stock worth all the way up to $200. And if you'd rather just have the cash, all you have to do is once you receive the free stock is just sell it for what it's worth and then transfer the cash value right back to your bank account. Okay, so once again, we are almost in July. So we're going to be going over the payment schedule for all beneficiaries of Social Security. So whether you receive retiree benefits, SSI, or SSDI, we're going to be going over when you can expect to receive your payment next month in July. So according to Newsweek here, on the 1st of July, this month, all SSI payments and Social Security payments for those who have been claiming since before July of 1997 will be made on July 1st. The July 1st payment date also applies to those who claim Social Security and live abroad. And of course, last month in June, there were no payments going out to beneficiaries of Social Security. That's because in May, you would have actually received two payments. So your June payment actually came a little bit earlier in the latter parts of May. Then on July 3rd, for those who receive SSI and Social Security benefits, your retirement check will be on July 3rd separately from SSI, or if you started receiving your Social Security benefit before May of 1997. Then on July 10th, those with birthdays that fall between the 1st and 10th of any given month will receive their monthly amount on July 10th. The following Wednesday on July 17th, claimants who have a birthday between the 11th and 20th of any given month will receive their payment on July 17th. And then finally, on July 24th, anyone born between the 21st and 31st of any month will have their benefits paid on July 24th. And they go on to say that due to inflation, benefits have increased by 3.2% for all claimants this year. And of course, we will know what the next cost of living adjustment will be come October. And that's when we're going to have the third quarter data for the Consumer Price Index for urban wage earners and clerical workers, and we'll be able to compare the data from this year to last year, and whatever that is increased by is how much the cost of living adjustment is going to be for 2025. Now, moving into some other Social Security news, unfortunately, according to a recent survey, it shows that half of Americans over the age of 65 right now are receiving $30,000 or less in annual income. So whether they work a job plus receive Social Security benefits, whether it's just a job or whether it's solely Social Security income, we're going to be covering one woman's story right now. And this is the reality of what a lot of Americans are going through right now. And we're going to be looking at why exactly is our government just letting this happen? Why are we not doing anything about it? So according to Business Insider, a peak boomer who lives on $1,100 monthly from Social Security struggles to afford food. She says, "I have to survive. I have no choice." So Babin, she's 62 years old and she lives alone. She has for years, ever since her mother and her brother died. The three of them used to live together with Babin as their caregiver. They were the only family that she had left. And now Babin at this point in time is kept company by her two cats and two dogs. She says that they mean the world to her. She lives on her Social Security income, which she first started receiving back in 2008 after she had to retire early for medical reasons. According to documents reviewed by Business Insider, the check comes out to $1,104 per month. Even with the Social Security check and some SNAP food benefits, Babin said it's difficult to afford groceries. She rarely has any new clothes and hasn't been able to afford a haircut in years. She said, "I have to survive. I have no choice." Babin's experience mirrors others that Business Insider has heard. A growing number of older adults in the U.S. are facing a retirement crisis, as limited or non-existent savings accounts require many to depend on Social Security, which is a federal fund that could also start shrinking by 2030. And we've detailed that numerous times on this channel. That's because right now we don't have enough young workers paying into the system, or if you want to put it in the viewpoint that we have too many retirees collecting benefits. The point is that we don't have enough money right now in the trust fund. The trust fund is what will pay out your Social Security benefits. And we don't have enough money in the trust fund or enough money flowing into the trust fund, which is from workers that pay taxes out of each check that they receive, going into the trust fund to pay everyone who right now is receiving benefits 100% of the benefits. That's going to start taking place in 2030, 2031, possibly 2032, 2033, or 2034. So unless we find a way to have more money flowing into the trust fund by increasing taxation or making it so everyone, even those who earn above, let's say like $168,000 per year, pay 100% of their paycheck towards the Social Security Trust Fund, the 6.2 to 12.4% that would be taxed. Unless we have more money coming into the trust fund or less money leaving it, the point is there's going to have to be a cut across the board for everyone receiving their benefits. So instead of receiving like a $1,000 check, you would unfortunately have to have like a 25% cut of your check, and everyone would have to receive a 25% cut to ensure that we can continue paying everyone benefits. Now, the article goes on to say that peak boomers, the latest cohort of older adults under 65 to retire, are especially vulnerable to these retirement challenges. The Census Bureau's current population survey found that more than half of Americans over 65 have an annual income of $30,000 or less, which of course is going to be extremely difficult to get by on just $30,000, especially in 2024 with all the inflation that we have seen. Just the fact that having to pay rent, your mortgage payments, the insurance, taxes, car payments, gas, any repairs on your car, it's going to be extremely difficult to get by. You're pretty much one emergency away from being completely in debt, and a lot of people are in debt and they're paying interest on their credit cards on a month-to-month basis. It's very, very difficult to get by. The article also goes on to say that Babin also worries about having enough food to eat. She says she receives $28 a month in SNAP benefits, but that's barely enough to cover bread, milk, and coffee. It's pretty much all it's going to afford. Occasionally, Babin visits food pantries, but she said the food is often spoiled or she can't eat the items available due to her diabetes, which is just really, really unfortunate. For healthcare, Babin is enrolled in Medicaid and Medicare, which covers most of her healthcare and insulin costs. She has a car, but typically only drives to essential places like the doctor's office because she can barely afford gas. And of course, we also have the crisis where car insurance is going higher and higher every single month. Very difficult to afford even car insurance, and of course gas is very pricey too. Babin, for example, Babin can't access programs like WIC, which is a special supplemental nutrition program for women, infant, and children, TANF, which is temporary assistance for needy families, and some tax credits because she lives alone. And even though her Social Security income is close enough to the poverty line to qualify for SNAP, the support she receives is limited and it can't help cover her other expenses. And as you saw there, it barely is enough to, for bread, coffee, milk, just nothing really there left over. And again, this is the reality of what a lot of Americans are living by right now. And they see that our lawmakers that we vote into office and they go off to D.C., they have plenty of funding to go to Ukraine, plenty of funding to go to Israel, Gaza, and other places around the world. But yet we have Americans here struggling at home. And that really makes them question, like, are you really in D.C. for our best interests? I struggle together why they would go, have the funding for sending money to all these other countries and all these other priorities and just these crazy studies and stuff that they find money for, but yet we have people struggling, like the lady in the story who's just struggling to get by, and there's no money for her left over at the end of the day, apparently. But leave your thoughts and comments below on all this, what you think. But that's all we have for today's video. I certainly hope you enjoyed and found value out of it. If you did, again, I would greatly appreciate if you could give this video a like. Consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already, and I will see you in the next video.